Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me for today's dream talk. Still waking up. As I said previously in last video, today's show is going to be about nightmares. So, I'm going to share with you a nightmare that I had. I don't know. I guess it was like maybe 7 years ago. Okay, I was getting a little loud. But anyway, so one night I was laying in bed, sleeping as usual, and all of a sudden I had this really bad dream, and it involved a mobster. He had the suit on and his hair combed back, slicked back, like they do in the movies. The movie he was in, he was in the dream, and I was just, the observer in the dream, just kind of seeing what was going on. It was more like the energy, more or less than the actual activities that were occurring in the dream. It was a very, how would I say, thick feeling in the dream, like very, lot of emotion, especially anger and sadness, and I could feel that coming off of the mobster guy. So anyway, I was dreaming, and next thing I know, it was just so intense. And then next thing I know, I opened my eyes, and there was a mobster guy, like on my chest, like holding my chest down, and looking right at me in the face and trying to like communicate with me. But I didn't know what he was trying to communicate. Because I was rendered motionless. I couldn't move. So I tried to speak to him telepathically just through thought, looking at him and trying to communicate to him that if you need help, I can't help you if I can't move or if I can't talk. And he didn't seem like an evil person. He just seemed like he was angry and sad. More angry than sad. But there was this like intenseness, and he was on me and like just pushing me down so I couldn't move, so that I could look at him, and it kind of almost felt like he wanted me to read him and know what happened to him in his life. Now this experience, it lasted for what seemed like quite a while. I didn't look at the clock, so I don't know exactly the time, how long this experience lasted. It seemed like it lasted for quite a while. Meanwhile, on the other side, my husband is sleeping. My son's sleeping in this other room. And I'm just kind of like, what is this guy trying to tell me? What does he want? Why can't I move? And, that was the scary part of it, is that I couldn't move. I was rendered motionless. So, that's pretty scary. What I learned from this dream after I had it, is that with nightmares, for me, what's easiest, if I'm really still shooken up and scared, I like to get up and possibly go somewhere where I feel safe, like outside in nature. If that's what you feel comfortable doing, that's cool. But go somewhere where you feel comfortable and just kind of think about what you experienced. I'm thinking this was more than a nightmare that I had. The more that I look back on this experience, I think it could have been a spirit or a ghost trying to contact me for whatever reason, because it seemed like he was helpless and he needed help. I didn't know how to help him because I was still in the 3D mentality where if I can't move and I can't talk to you, then how can I help you? And with my understanding of ghosts or spirits or whatever, they can communicate with you on a telepathic basis easily, because they're in a different dimension. So that's just what I believe in. If you don't believe in, that's okay. But yeah, what I recommend is going outside and I say going outside all the time. That's a good thing. What happens is when I go outside, all the fear and anxiety accompanied with the nightmare seems to dissolve. That's the power of nature to me. You come outside, you have this really messed up dream, and you're still shooken up inside because you don't understand it. You don't understand why you had it. A lot of times in nightmares, when you have these nightmares, you're not aware of why you're having them, um, and the images and people that show up in there and all that can be very disorienting if it's the backdrop is very creepy and scary. And that was I mean, it felt like it turned into reality. The dream turned into reality. What I'm thinking is definitely that a ghost got into my dream in order to like send me a message. It almost seemed like he needed help and he was coming to me for help, but I didn't know how to help him. The best thing I could do was tell him that only way I can help you is if you can let me move and let me like talk. I'm a 3D being right now, so anyway, so yeah, that was a scary. So yeah, that's what I suggest when you have a nightmare, something scary. And also another thing you can do if there's somebody there, living in the house with you that they see value in dreams and things like that. You can also like talk to them about it, and then sometimes people have insight into your dreams that you would never thought of. I know that you, the dreamer, like I've always said, truly know what your dream means for you because it's your dream. But sometimes people, if you have somebody on the side there, like a good friend, a spouse, or whatever, sibling, to talk to about it that isn't too, you know, freaked out by nightmares or, scary things like that. When you bring the nightmares into light, they become less scary. That's my experience. After I had that dream, I came outside. That experience was more than a dream. But I came outside and I just sat outside with my feet on the ground, bare feet on the ground, and just thought about it. And it started to make more and more sense to me. It started to make me want to learn more about the property I'm living on, and actually the people that lived here at one point. So that's definitely some research I'm going to be doing. So yeah, whenever you have a bad dream, this suggestion, just come outside and think about it. You can even bring your dream journal with you and just write it out, all the things you're thinking about it. And you'll be amazed at what your mind will give you. I mean, when you wake up from your nightmare, you're probably still disoriented and you're still feeling like you're within that experience. But what we have to realize, and I have to remind myself as well, I'm not exempt from this either, is that we have control over our dreams. These are our dreams. So you can turn your nightmare into something else. You just have to, I think it comes down to believing in yourself. The more self-confident you become, the more you're able to realize that you do indeed have control over your dreams. These are your dreams. Nobody has control of them but you. So, alright, I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Next week, what I want to talk about, yeah, I want to talk about actual steps after you have a dream, and how you can, I don't know, understand it better. I want to share with you another art piece that I drew as well from a dream, and see that there's more than one way to understand your dreams. You can write them out or draw them out or even sculpt them out, which is what I've been thinking about exploring. And I'll share that with you next week. If you have any questions or comments or ideas for a show you'd like to see relating to dreams and dreaming, please leave a comment down below. and it could be made into a video for next week's show, or a future show for that matter. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for liking. And thank you so much for sharing this with all your friends and family. Alrighty. Sweet dreams. Peace.